Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Cool Colas here to bring you the hustler's perspective. I just wanted to kind of talk to you all about something really quickly that I found really interesting. I was listening to an influencer who I'm friends with on Facebook, and she had a really interesting topic that she was talking about today that I kind of want to talk to you all about as well too. And then I want to elaborate a little bit on my opinions and then what I think about just this topic in general. But she was talking about this thing that she called time stealers. But I want to go further with this and talk about time stealers and energy stealers. And the reason why I want to talk about these topics is because I think that these things are so common that we need to start calling to light when these things are going on, and what are these things that are doing this, that are stealing your energy and stealing your time, and why it is so crucial to talk about it. So the first thing is with people who she described as time stealers, and I more so called them time vampires or chronological vampires. That's how I look at them. Like, I think that with time, it can be stolen by people and it can be stolen by things. That's just the bottom line. I think that a lot of us need to identify what it is that is stealing our time. And what I mean by a lot of us is a lot of us hustlers, a lot of us people who are influencers ourselves, a lot of us who believe in the idea of working for something better for ourselves and wanting to pursue our passions. Time stealers are and time vampires are people who really can take our time away, and or things that can take our time away, and we need to identify what those are. For me personally, I'll tell you what mines are. I think some of the most heavy time vampires I have are I would say like television shows, not television shows as in like cable shows, but shows that I get or I watch on my Fire Stick. And then my other time vampire is social media. Here's the reason why these two are time vampires for me, because I spend a lot of my time on social media already because of the fact that I want to influence you guys and tell you all about all the great things that I have going on with my videos and with my blog and all these other things. So I tend to get wrapped up in this idea of just seeing what influences other people and what things people are interested in, and then trying to go to my videos and making sure that I'm saying things that are like really cool for you all to check out as well too. So I think it's my time vampire because I tend to stay on there a little bit longer to kind of see these things, just so I can make sure that I'm saying things that are really going to help other people out. But I get wrapped up in just the idea of just seeing just random things, and then sometimes videos come up and they're interesting and they're cool. Now, mind you, I say this all the time. Those types of things are the things that you want to avoid. And there are times where it's easy for me to avoid them, but because, like I said, I am trying to create a base, or have been creating a base more so on social media, I tend to go on there a lot. So it's very easy for me to get wrapped up in seeing what's on the timeline, and getting wrapped up in seeing everything that's going on in the world, which is cool. But really, I think that that's something that can kind of be mitigated, because at the end of the day, you need to work with things that are going to give you, that have good return of investment. So they're going to either give you the money because of the work that you're putting into it, or give you the publicity as in people see your face, or give you something that's going to be a positive and it's going to be a benefit. And a lot of times when you're on social media, unless you are doing something strictly business related, it doesn't help you at all, really. I mean, me getting 100 and 200 likes on some status I said because it's cool is not going to necessarily mean anything. Now, if I consistently put things up and people are liking it and they're sharing it and other people are watching it, then of course I'm like somewhat self-branding myself. But if I put one status and it's about something really kooky, and like some people like it or a lot of people like it or whatever, that doesn't mean anything necessarily for how I'm doing, with this stuff here. Now, like I said, someone may learn something about what I think or something I just wanted to share, and they may have thought it was cool, or a lot of people thought it was cool. But I can't get wrapped up in that idea of just spending all my time there. The reason why television is a time vampire for me is because I spend a lot of time watching a lot of different shows, because I find like a lot of these plots and a lot of things that go on in these shows very interesting. Now, mind you, I am always working, even if I am watching a lot of these television shows. But what tends to happen is I get wrapped up in kind of like binge watching, like a lot of other people do. Now, it's a habit that I'm still working on breaking, but it's also hard because that too goes into the things that I care about. So, again, you all see me and I do this video blog thing, and you all think that that's the only, you all probably think that's the only thing that I got that I'm working on. But I may have mentioned it in a previous video before, but I am also a heavy writer, and I do my own comics and things like that. And a lot of these shows help as far as just understanding how plots work, understanding characters, understanding this idea of mystery. So a lot of times I watch it because it's interesting, and it helps as an influence to me and the content that I'm trying to provide as well too. So it's a time vampire because I'm always looking at it, because it does actually help me to a certain level. But then I also have to separate the fact that I get interested on what I'm watching as well too. So that's what I think for me personally is an issue. I've heard different time vampires for other people. Like I know some people, they have a hard time of just saying no to people, and those people are like always asking these little things. Like it could be like a like family or friends, and they may say, want to have like a conversation with you, or they want to talk about what happened on this TV show, or they want to talk about what happened with this person and that person. They want to like gossip about something. Or even if it's not even something kind of silly like what I said, maybe it's something like they like your mom or your aunt or whoever wants you to come over, and they want you to help move boxes and things like that because they're trying to do thing A, B, C, and D. Like sometimes those types of things you're gonna have to block out, especially if you're a busy person and you know how busy you are, and other people know how busy you are as well too. At that point, especially if you've let them know like what you're about and what you do and all the things that you have going on, they should be able to understand and respect the idea that what you're doing is going to take a big commitment, and they need to be respectful of that commitment as well too. So again, like if they're not doing that, that's where you need to put your foot down and not allow that to steal your time, especially if you know you don't have the time to devote to it. So I'm saying that to people who are like really nice. I'm a really nice guy, so I do believe in doing nice things for other people, especially if like I feel like they're a person who deserves, and they've been a good person to me as well too. I kind of have that on my conscience, so that's something that's like a weakness of mine. But at the same time, I do know how to say no as well too. And if I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to do something, then I just won't answer the phone, or I just won't pick up, or I won't have that conversation with somebody because I'm just too into whatever I'm doing. And that's how a lot of people need to be, is they need to kind of separate that that time that they have where they can do things as a leisure, and from like actually them working on whatever it is that they enjoy doing and what their passion is. So that's what I would say about time vampires, is you have to just be careful because they will steal your time. Time is very precious, and you want to make sure you make the best of it every time that you can. That doesn't mean that you need to work until your bones are showing out of your skin. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that like anything that, if you have like your set time that, you're doing things from, you need to be able to zone into that and don't let anything else steal that time away from you, no matter what it is. Now, if it's emergency, that's one thing, but generally speaking, most of the time it's not. So, with that being said, you need to just be careful about how you spend your time and what you allow to come in and steal your time, again, which could be social media, which could be television, which could be family and friends. The other thing I talked about here too were energy vampires. Energy vampires are an even more difficult thing. Energy vampires are people mostly who and it could be things, because it could be like a job that's like weighing you down, but they're generally people who say or do things that kind of steal your energy in order for you to like it may not be for the purpose of you to feel bad, but you generally feel bad because of what they have done or what they have said. You need to be careful of those types of people as well too, because it will mess up your flow. It will mess up how well you do. It will mess up your level of success. And the reason why is because energies are a real thing. I keep saying this in almost every video that I get a chance to say it in. Energies are a real thing. Auras are a real thing. Please pay attention to them. Pay attention to who's in your circle. Pay attention to who you surround yourself with. The reason why is because if you, and I'll just give you an example. If you go somewhere and you're around someone, or you have to be around someone, and then you get a bad vibe from them, and then at the end of the let's say it's a friend, actually. I'm not even going to use that example because that's a really extreme example. Let's use a very, very I guess particular example that people don't really see too much. So scratch that example. Let's say you're hanging out with a friend, and it's a friend who you've known for a minute. They're not necessarily your best friend, but you're cool with them. And then you guys hang out and you have a okay time. And then at the end of it, when you get in your car and you go and you leave after hanging out with them, you say to yourself, "Did I have fun?" That's an energy vampire. The reason why is because every single time I wouldn't say every single time, but most times when you interact with the people who you know, you should feel uplifted. You should feel better. You should feel inspired. You should feel good about yourself. You shouldn't be surrounding yourself with people who are negative or have negative things to say about you, have a lot of negative things to say about other people. Of course, we're all human. We have criticisms. We say things, but what I mean is, like, it's always negativity all the time, or things that like are gonna kind of throw off your own vibe, and especially if your vibe is positive and you got a lot of positive things going on, and then people rain on your parade, or people who even mask their negativity and saying, "Well, I'm just being real." Like, you want to be careful of people who do those things too much, really do them at all, but who do them too much. And the reason why I say that is because those people are energy vampires, and they will have a way of making you not feel top notch, whether you want to admit it or not. And that has nothing to do with your self-esteem. That has nothing to do with caring what they think. Auras are a real thing. Like I said, people, you will absorb the auras that are around you. If those auras are negative, it will go into your body, whether you believe it or not. Because your negativity could be that you say the same things that they end up saying, or your negativity could be that you're just talking about them because they frustrated you. Either way, you want to try to rid yourself as much as possible from those things. Now, again, I keep saying this over and over again. We're human. We have criticisms. We say things about people. So it's not always going to be positive, the things that people say, because sometimes you just have to kind of get to the point. And if it's something that just tends to be or ends up being negative as far as the conversation goes, then that's just what it is. But you just want to be careful of the people who have a outright and continuous tendency to always say negative things, or be negative, or not make you feel at the best that you should be, or shoot down, or even like mildly kind of graze the ideas that you have, or limit the ideas that you have. My thing is, do not let anything or anybody steal your time and your energy, because it will affect you. And I think it affects a lot of people, because a lot of people have psychologically at that point realize they don't have a lot of time, and they don't have the want and the passion at that point, and the energy to want to continue to do something that was once important to them. And you don't want anything to steal that from you, because there's so much stuff going on out here in the world, and you don't have time for anybody or anything that's going to just limit that. So I just wanted to give that quick message. But anyway, so I hope you guys enjoy what I had to say. Just want to give you all that quick video. If you guys like what you heard today, then please click that subscribe button. If you guys want to see more from my Facebook channel for this the video page, then you can go to the Hustler's Perspective YouTube channel. If you guys want to go to my blog, then you can go to hustlersjackpot.com. If you guys want to check out more details from the Facebook page for my blog, you can go to the Hustlers Jackpot. If you want to check out my Instagram page for business, you can go to @thehustlersjackpot. And if you guys want to check out my personal page on Instagram, you can go to @coolcolas. Anyway, I hope you guys had a good day. I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say. I hope that you can take away something from this. And remember, avoid those vampires, because they will suck the time and the energy out of you. So with that being said, I'll see you guys later. Keep hustling.